It's a cold and chilly day, a windy one here in the Windy City, Crestwood, Illinois, as we are here at Ozinga Field getting ready to go for game 2 of a 4-game series between the Windy City Thunderbolts and the Evansville Otters. Well, yesterday the Otters won their second straight game by a score of 6-1. A little bit of a weird coincidence there, but they scored 2 in the first, and that was all they needed. Windy City scored 1 in the bottom half of the first inning, but the Otters just kept on extending their lead, and the pitching combination of Dylan Zenko, Nolan Thebe, Chase Cribble, and Alex Valdez were able to throw 8 scoreless between the second and the ninth inning. Meanwhile, the Otters scored 2 in the third on a couple of RBI singles from Quitzer and Salvaggio, and then Quitzer came out in the seventh and hit a 2-run homer, his first homer as an Otter, to make it 6-1, and that's where the score held until the end of the game. The Otters now 41-27, looking to top their win total from 2024. They already beat it from last year. They went 40-56. Now the 41st win, looking for number 42. They finished July at 14-10, which is the same record that they had in June, and definitely a lot better than their July last season, in which they went 3-21. As we flip the calendar to August, the Otters last season actually did really good in August. They went 16-11, and that was due to a 9-game winning streak between August 13th and the 22nd. It tied their franchise record with the win streak 9 straight games. On the other side, in August last year for Windy City, they went under 500. Last time the Thunderbolts went over 500 in August was 2023. They finished under 500 in July this season. Had a very rough July, finishing at 8-17. The last time they were above 500 in July was 2018, and they finished only 1 game over at 13-12. So they're looking for a good August here. It all starts here on August 1st. We had a 2-gamer going today, but it's been raining all day, so the first game was canceled. There's going to be 2 games tomorrow, 2 7-inning games. Want to make that very clear, 2 7-inning games, because it was originally supposed to be 2 9-inning games today, but they decided that we're playing 2 7s tomorrow. So just one more little warning, 2 7-inning games, but they will start at 1:05 tomorrow, as the Otters look to win the series. They took game 1. It's a very chilly game 2. Wind really blowing left to right field, so that will be beneficial for the lefties. For the starters, it is Ramon Rodriguez getting the start for Windy City. He has a 6.75 ERA in 10 2/3 innings. This is only going to be his 3rd professional start, as he was a recent signing with Windy City, signed back on July 17th, right after the All-Star break. On the other side, a familiar face for the Otters, Garrett Simpson getting the start today for Evansville. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout in the 5-4 win against Mississippi on Sunday. Pitched 2 games in that 6-game series against the Mud Monsters, so now he's pitching against Windy City for the 3rd time this season and the first time since May 30th. He pitched pretty well, though. In his 2 starts, he's combined for 10 innings, has only given up 3 runs, and he got his first professional win against Windy City back on May 24th. That started a really good stretch of starts for Simpson, as he's now sitting at a 6-1 record, 4.43 ERA in 63 innings. Let's take a look at the plate meeting between Tom Carcione and Andy McCauley. We'll take a look at the umpires. Mateus Puschalo is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes, with Lucas Naley at first base, and the crew chief, Kenny Jackson, over at third. Garrett Simpson hasn't gotten a decision since July 9th against Gateway, but neither a win nor a loss. The Otters are still performing very well when he starts, as they, so far this season, are over 500, 9-3 this season when Simpson gets the start. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. There's a lot of games going on. We were a little bit delayed. We're going to be starting at 7, at least according to what I heard. 7, maybe 7:05 if things are still a little wet on the field. It was raining a lot earlier as you take a look at the head-to-head pitcher matchup. Both guys not necessarily striking out a lot, but we all know Garrett Simpson is very good at locating. He has only 18 walks this season. On the other side, for Ramon Rodriguez, he has 1 walk compared to 7 strikeouts, so we won't be seeing a lot of base on balls today for either side, at least according to the stats. But round the league we go. Washington's beating New Jersey 3-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Sussex is up against Lake Erie 3-2 in the 6th. We saw Sussex absolutely destroy Lake Erie in their game yesterday, 19-5. Ottawa's beaten Brockton 7-2. Florence is playing a doubleheader today. They beat Gateway in game 1 6-4. Meanwhile, Tri-City and Down East tied up at 2. Quebec already up 3-0 in the first inning on Trois-Rivières. Schaumburg scores 6 in the second inning, and they're leading at 6-1. And we also have New York and Joliet, who are also in a rain delay because they're nearby, and the rain, I think, is moving over to them. But it's not raining right now, and hopefully it stays that way throughout the course of today's game. We already had to cancel 1 game today, and I really don't think we want to cancel 2. I don't think that would be ideal. A lot of these guys on the side of Windy City have faced off against Garrett Simpson before, but Ramon Rodriguez has not faced off against the Otters yet this season. So it'll be a new little challenge for Rodriguez, who spent his 2026 season at Point Park. He's originally from Calle in Puerto Rico. Played for Point Park his entire collegiate career. Calle in the middle of Puerto Rico, a little bit south of San Juan. After the win by the Otters yesterday, they're still 6 games back of Washington in the division, and now only 2 games ahead of Florence after their win in game 1 of the doubleheader. So everybody in the division, except for Lake Erie, just decides that they want to keep on winning games. In the West, with the loss by Windy City, they're now 4.5 games back of Schaumburg, but a half game up on Gateway after their loss in game 1 of the doubleheader against Florence. But with the win yesterday, the Otters gained some ground in the wild card race because Windy City's the first team out right now. So they are now 8 games ahead of Windy City for a wild card spot. So even though they're very close to Florence in terms of the wild card race, see who gets the first and the second wild card, even if we get the second one, have a lot of ground. We have a lot of ground in the playoff race. As we enter August, we're going to have to start worrying about these types of things a little bit more than usual because August is going to fly by before we hit September. And then after September, it's going to be the playoffs. It's going to be here before you know it. We're already on game 69 of 102. After this, 2 games tomorrow, and then we play 4 against Joliet. It's going to be a lot of games for the Otters in the next week. It's going to be a lot. Doubleheader on Wednesday against the Slammers. It's a $2 Tuesday, 6:35 first pitch against Joliet on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's going to be a doubleheader. 5:05 is the start time there. That one's also going to be 2 sevens. And it's going to be country night, which means there will be a ticket giveaway to a concert at the Ford Center. On Thursday, it's Latin Heritage Night. Latin Heritage, as there will be mini maraca to give away to the first 500 fans that enter Bosse Field. But that is still in a few days. But for now, we will head to the national anthem before we go to first pitch here in game 2 of 4. So we'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network. It is time for game 1 of 3 from Ozinga Field as the tarp comes off the mound. Starting pitcher Ramon Rodriguez ready to go here for the first inning. Didn't think we would get a game in today, to be honest, after all the rain that was coming down and the first game getting canceled earlier today. Supposed to be a 1:05 and a 6:05, and now we have just one at 7:05. Should be a good one, though. The wind definitely not in the favor of the pitching staff, as Ramon Rodriguez is starting. He's pitched in 2 games in his professional career. As we take a look at the batting order, first for the visiting Otters, it's John Ponder back after getting the day off yesterday. Linscott behind him in right field. Logan Brown is at first base batting third. Marcos Gonzalez at second base in the cleanup spot. Blake Robertson in left field. Hitting fifth, Dennis Pierce, the DH. Batting sixth, and Quitzer, Black, and Salvaggio, the bottom 3 here for the Otters. On the other side for the Thunderbolts, Liam MacArthur leading off yet again, as Sandal was the leadoff man, but he's moving down to the cleanup spot. Jared Beebe moves up. Justin Fogel moves up to the 2-3 hitters. Daryl Ruiz hitting fifth at first base with Victor Cerny behind him hitting sixth. Doing the catching yet again, Carlos Pena is in the lineup. So is Tony Livermore for the first time this series. And Josue Urdaneta is at second base batting ninth. Otters have scored in the first inning in 7 straight games, so hopefully they can make it 8 here and start off game 2 on a hot note. Ramon Rodriguez has pitched in 2 games to the 20th against Schaumburg. He threw 5 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 2 homers, 4 strikeouts, and earned the loss against the Boomers. On the second outing, he threw 5 1/3 again against Florence, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and was not a part of the decision there. Ready to go here, John Ponder, the Edward Jones, the leadoff batter of the day. As per usual, we saw Linscott was leading off, but now he's hitting second today. Pre-game shows brought to you by Papa John's. And we are ready to go. First pitch at 7:03 is called a strike. 0-1 here to Ponder. So he got the day off yesterday after an 0-for-5 day on Sunday against the Boulders. 0-for-5 with 2 strikeouts, as that one will miss low and inside for ball 1. Ponder hitting at a .348 in July, hit .274. 2 doubles, a homer, 8 RBIs, 6 walks, and 13 strikeouts. Fly ball into right field, wind carrying, a diving catch by Sandal in right field. Now, first batter of the game, and we already have a web gem. What a catch in right field by Michael Sandal. That is out number 1 as Ponder gets robbed of a base hit. That'll bring up Sam Linscott. First pitch from Rodriguez is high for ball 1. So take a look at the defense. Fogel's in left field. MacArthur's in center. We just saw Sandal out there in right. Jared Beebe's at third. Tony Livermore's at short. Josue Urdaneta at second base. And Daryl Ruiz at first, with Victor Cerny doing the catching for the second straight game for Rodriguez. As that one is a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Linscott in the leadoff spot went 3-for-5 yesterday. Got his 5th 3-hit game of the season. He swings and misses at strike 2. Opposite field hitting might be crucial here for the Otters as well as the Bolts, with the wind blowing the way of the right field foul pole. Opposite field, but a fly ball, a lot easier for Sandal as he'll make the catch for out number 2. Back-to-back F9s in the scorebook for those scoring at home. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Lefty here, Logan Brown up for the first time today. 3 lefties in the lineup yet again. Him, Robertson, and Quitzer. Amani Jones, though, getting the day off today. Fly ball into center field. MacArthur will make the catch, and that will end the Otters' streak of 7 straight games scoring in the first inning. It's a 1-2-3 for Rodriguez. We'll head to the bottom of the first, no score on the Otters Digital Network. First innings brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. Garrett Simpson starting on the mound for Evansville today. Face off against MacArthur, Beebe, and Fogel. Well, MacArthur still on a league leading, but just behind Beebe, though. 27-game on-base streak. Beebe has 28. Those are the two highest on-base streaks actively in the Frontier League, as the first pitch misses high for ball one. Fogel still up there as well, 32, but he ended his hitting streak yesterday. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. MacArthur hitting at a 317, but he hit over 400 in July. 415, he went 34 for 82. He hit 3 doubles, drove in 8 runs, had 18 walks. Grounder to second base, Marcos Gonzalez will lob it over to first in time for out number 1. Well, 1 down, that'll bring up Jared Beebe. Beebe drove in the only run of the day yesterday for Windy City, hit an RBI double that ended up scoring MacArthur from second base. That was his only hit of the day. And now has an RBI in his last 4 games. So that one just misses outside. Beebe hitting at a 338, 7 homers, 47 RBIs. 2 for 3 so far this season against Simpson. Also has a walk and a strikeout. 2-0 from Simpson. That is called a strike. And it's 2-1. Beebe also has a hit in his last 4, including a hit in each of the 3 games that Windy City played against Gateway. 2-1 outside, and it's ball 3. 367 average in July for Beebe. Last 10 games, he's hitting 359, 14 for 39. 3-1. That is into center field. Ponder is right there to make the catch. Hit a little too hard by Beebe, right to center field, and that's out number 2. That'll bring up Justin Fogel, the second lefty in the lineup. Darryl Ruiz also in there as a lefty. Pena and Livermore also lefties in the order. Full lefty lineup, all of them being used today for Tom Carcione's squad, as the first pitch is called a strike. Fogel had a rare 0-for yesterday. He went 0-for-4, ended his 17-game hitting streak. 0-1, fouled away. Still managed to reach base, though, so he still has that on-base stretch. But Fogel's still hitting at a 341 this season. A little high, and it's 1-2. Just like Sandel, these are 2 guys that are playing really well, too. of the best hitters on Windy City's lineup, but they have not performed well against Otters pitching. 1-2, blooper is going to get into shallow left field for a base hit. As the throw will go over to second base, Fogel shrugs as he finds a way on with a single. .57 off the bat. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Over the head of Quitzer, over to Salvaggio, who throws it over to second base. No really play at first from Salvaggio. First hit of the day for Windy City. That'll bring up Michael Sandel. Called a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, the bottom 6 in the order yesterday for Windy City went 1 for 24 1 for 20, and we're 0 for their last 14. It was only the double from James Dunlap, the only hit that the bottom 6 had yesterday. So Windy City looking to fix that up here in game 2 as that one misses inside, and it's 1-1. Fogel on first, only 2 for 2 on stolen bases. Covered over there by Logan Brown. That is hit into left field. It's going to land as a fair ball, get all the way into the corner. Justin Fogel's rounding third. He's going to come around to score. Throw to the plate is not in time. RBI double for Michael Sandel. And Windy City's taking an early 1-0 lead. So Sandel able to get it over the head of Robertson out there in left field, even fighting the wind. I think Evansville wanted to check if Fogel touched third base or not. They're going to call him safe, so the run will score. 1 run on 2 hits here in the first inning. Well, even with the fans here, fighting the elements right now, you can still hear up here from the booth what the players and umpires are saying. Throw over to third again, and no, they're going to say he touched third base. So not quite a first pitch yet here to Daryl Ruiz. Michael Sandel on second base after an RBI double. The last time, yesterday, BB had an RBI double to give them their first run, as that one's hit into right field for a base hit. Sandel's coming around from third, and he will score. And 2 runs have scored here for the Thunderbolts in the first inning, making it 2-0. Now the bottom 6 already has more hits than they did yesterday. 2 for 2 compared to that 1 for 20 yesterday, and now the Bolts up 2-0. First pitch from Simpson to Victor Cherney is outside for ball 1. Cherney went 0 for 4 yesterday, now up to a 2 for 20 against Evansville this season. That is called a strike, and it's 1-1. So both of those runs coming in with 2 outs. Simpson got the first 2, or MacArthur to ground out to second, Beebe lining out to center, but then 3 straight hits have brought 2 runs across here for Windy City in the first inning. Liner snag. It's off the glove of Gonzalez, and everybody's safe. Another single on the infield, this time for Cerny, and 4 straight hits have put 2 on with 2 outs, with 2 runs already in. Not the start the Otters were looking for here in the first inning. 2 runs on 4 hits. The Bolts did score in the first inning yesterday and didn't score a single run afterwards. Managed to bring 6 runs across for Evansville and get the win there. So a lot of game left. 1-1. Is called a strike. His first pitch there to Pena. Hitting at a 309. He didn't play yesterday, but on the 30th against Gateway, he went 1 for 4. Struck out 3 times. ripped foul as that one will get way out of play. It's 0-2. Pena, 11 homers, leads the team. 55 hits in his now 50th game of the season. 0-2 from Simpson. Fouled away. Going to get to the backstop. It'll remain at 0-2. Pena has a hit in his last 4 games. He had a 3-for-5 day back on Tuesday against Gateway. Hit a homer. Ended up being his 11th. I see a couple of lefty home runs here with the wind blowing that direction. That is going to hit Pena, and that will load the bases. So the last 5 Thunderbolts have reached base after Simpson gets the first 2 outs in the inning. And a chance for Tony Livermore to break things open here in the first inning. Livermore also on the bench yesterday. He's hitting at a .231 back on Thursday. He went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Simpson is called a strike as Mark Black will head to the mound for a quick mound visit. Simpson has already allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning, as this has been a long first pitch count wise as well for Simpson. A 1 pitch. Bunt showed, and it's dropped back to the backstop foul. It's 0-2. When Windy City scores in the first inning this season, now 21-11. They scored in the first and lost yesterday. But the Otters also scored in the first. Little low, and it's 1-2. On the Otters side, when their opponent scores in the first inning, they're 10-18. They added a win to that column yesterday. 1-2. Grounder foul over near the Otters dugout, and we'll do it again. So after the first 2 outs recorded, it's been single, double, single, single, hit by pitch. And now pitch number 27 is called strike 3. And Windy City leaves the bases loaded. First K for Simpson, but 2 runs do come in. RBI double for Michael Sandel. RBI single for Darryl Ruiz as Windy City leads it 2-0. Heading to the second inning on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the second inning, Marcos Gonzalez leading it off. The Otters down 2-0. It is early. The Otters have done good offensively so far in this series. It has only been one game, of course, but still, Marcos Gonzalez leading it off. It's Gonzalez, it's Robertson, it's Pierce. Gonzalez sitting at a 339. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2. 1 for 5 with a double and 2 strikeouts yesterday. He has multiple strikeouts now in 6 of his last 7 games and has a strikeout in 14 of his last 15. Still keeping that average high. 0-2 in the turf, and that's ball 1. For Gonzalez in July, he hit 357. Got 30 hits, a double, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, but also struck out 32 times of his 62. So over half his strikeouts have come in July. Little low, and it's 2-2. Has reached base, though, in his last 18 games. Extending that streak with the double yesterday. And it's now 0-2 to 3-2. Makes it a full count as a couple of takes from Gonzalez. Now has him in a full count against Rodriguez. Be nice to get a leadoff walk here after the 2 runs coming in. Grounder over to third. Long throw for Jared Beebe on a couple hops. It's still in time, though, for out number 1. Oh, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring up Blake Robertson. He hit a 2-run double in the first inning of yesterday's game to make it 2-0 at the time in the first inning. Overall, went 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs, also a strikeout. Up to 24 on the season as that one misses for ball 1. He's reached base in his last 22 games. Fouled away to the Windy City dugout. And it's 1-1. So 2-0 Windy City here in the top of the second inning so far. Well, short sample size, but Rodriguez has been pitching the ball well. Fly ball into right field. Michael Sandel will make the catch. And that's out number 2. So 5 hitters have come up for Evansville, and 3 of them have flied out to right. Haven't seen too much hard contact against Rodriguez yet in an inning and 2/3. Bring up Dennis Pierce. Did not play yesterday. Did not play on Thursday either. His last game was on Wednesday against New York. He went 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch is called a strike. That was after having a good series against Mississippi, which he hit the only home run by an Otter during that entire 6-game series. We talked about yesterday how hard it was to hit homers at Mississippi, and it's kind of hard to hit homers here. Quitzer did it yesterday to the opposite field, and now the wind more blowing in a little bit rather than left to right. 1-2. Pierce hit 240 in July. 3 homers, 14 RBIs, 16 walks compared to 20 strikeouts, and that's even with the 5 for 42 stretch he had in the middle of the month. So that one's inside for ball 2. Well, Bolts almost batted around in the first inning and did only have 2 runs to show for. They left the bases loaded, which could be a little crucial for them later on in the game, but that one is a swing and a miss for strike 3. First K for Rodriguez, and he has gone 6 up, 6 down to start his start. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Thunderbolts on the Otters Digital Network.
friends at St. Xavier University. We thank them. This is Mike from Chicago. Mike, we're going to play a little Toy Story trivia. If you get 3 out of 5 right, we're going home with a prize pack. If you get a D, 60%, you're going home with a prize pack. All right, first Toy Story question. What is the name written on the bottom of Woody's shoe? Andy. Andy, that is correct. All right, you're 1 for 1. Look at this guy. Next one, what is the name of the evil kid that lives next door to Andy and likes to blow up toys? Sid. Wow, 2 for 2. All right, you're on fire again. All right, Toy Story question number 3. Buzz Lightyear does not think he's a toy. He thinks he is. Space Ranger. Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit. That's right. Number 4. 41, by the way. What does Woody say when you pull his string? Sorry, I couldn't do it any better than that. There's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my boot. These are way too easy for Mike. Okay, and finally, what is the name of the pizza restaurant? Pizza Planet. That's for 5. Look at this guy. I should have gone with the harder one. But anyway, you're 5 for 5. Congratulations, you got a ThunderBolts prize pack, and you're going to enjoy that. All right. Good job this Toy Story night, everybody. Thanks to St. Xavier. Back to you.
Second innings brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. Garrett Simpson out there for the second inning. He'll face off against Urdaneta, MacArthur, and Beebe 9-1-2 as 8 men came to the plate for Windy City in the first inning, and 2 of them came around to score. Looking for a little bit of a get-back inning here for Simpson. Looking to settle down and throw a scoreless second. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. Second time through the order for Simpson. Nothing changes too much. Some stuff gets a little higher. OPS goes from a 706 to a 797, but the on-base percentage actually goes down just by 1 from 325 to 324. Simpson finished July at a 3.57 ERA and 22 2/3. He had a fantastic July. Also had his most walks in a month this year. 11 walks compared to 10 strikeouts. That is called strike 3. Speaking of strikeouts, back-to-back looking for Simpson. 1 to end the first, 1 to start the second as Urdaneta goes down. That's out number 1 in the bottom of the second inning. Back to the top of the order, Liam MacArthur. First pitch is called a strike. And it's 0-1. MacArthur. First 21 games were with Joliet. His first 4 seasons were with Joliet. 29-year-old from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, a little bit west of Newark. Got traded to Windy City while he was on the IL. He was on the IL June 3rd. He got traded on June 10th for a player to be named later. Going back to Joliet. That one will miss. A little low and in, and it's 1-2. MacArthur grounded out to second base in his first at-bat. 1-2, fouled away. Another 1-2. Fly ball into left field. Blake Robertson running into foul ground, and he just has enough space to make the catch in the Windy City bullpen for out number 2. First 2 down here. Just like in the first inning, we'll see if Simpson can get that easy out number 3 here in the second inning. Jared Beebe lined out to center field in his first at-bat, so he's 0 for 1 so far today. First pitch a little outside for ball 1. Beebe also from New Jersey. Fly ball into center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. As the 2-out hitting continues for Windy City, all 6 of their hits have come. Or sorry, all 5 of their hits have come with 2 outs. Justin Fogel up for at bat number 2. He started the hitting in the first inning with 2 outs, hit a single, just a bloop single that got over the head of Quitzer at third, and ended up coming around to score on the RBI double from Michael Sandel. So possibly the start of a new hitting streak for Fogel. So that one will miss high for ball 1. Fogel hitting .305 against righties compared to over .400 against lefties. 1-0. Swing and a miss as Fogel drops to a knee. And it's 1-1. In terms of the spray map, he hits pretty much to all fields, but a lot of his grounders go to the right side. That is called strike 2. Definitely a chance for Simpson to get out of things here. Only a 9.6 strikeout percentage, though, for Fogel this season. 1-2. There's a grounder over to second base. Gonzalez, throw to first, is in time for out number 3. So single from Beebe, but he does not come around. He doesn't even advance from first base. A scoreless second for Garrett Simpson. We'll head to the third. 2-0 Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
Matthew, you are going to play long shot courtesy of David Buster's. We're going to give you 5 attempts to throw a tennis ball into that trash can. Has to be on the fly. And if you do, you're going home with a $50 free play card to David Buster's right here in Oakland, all right? All right, Matthew, a lot of wind up here, dude. Tough conditions. Let's see what you can do. First one for Matthew. All right. First one, take a little off, maybe. Here comes the second one. All right. Move it out just a little bit. I accounted too much for the wind. There you go. That's good. All right, Matthew. Here's number 3. I like it. I like it. All right. Number 4. The 1. Right on it. Okay. 5th and final ball for Matthew from Munster, Indiana. Here we go. A trick to David Buster's. He's concentrating. Here comes, that's going to be off target. Hey, I brought an extra ball just in case, and I think we'll use it, right, guys? You want to give it an extra one? All right. Here we go. This is it. I promise. This is it. All right. Last one for Matthew.
Top of the third inning, wind is really picking up, at least here in the booth. It is 2-0 Windy City. Of course, Windy City, it's bound to happen. It's Quitzer, it's Black, it's Salvaggio, leading off for Evansville in the top of the third inning. Quitzer had a good day yesterday, has a multi-hit game now in 3 straight, in 3 of his 4 games with the Otters this season. Hit a homer, drove in 3 runs yesterday. Big part of the 6-1 win. First pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, Quitzer hit a homer that brought in LG Castillo, both of those guys from Buffalo, New York. One of those if I had a nickel situations. 0-2 quickly, though, against Quitzer. Goes down 0-2 a decent amount, but finds a way to just keep fouling off pitches, as we talked about yesterday. It does not have a walk yet this season. He swings and misses at a high fastball, and that is strikeout number 2 for Rodriguez. Gonna bring up Mark Black. Mark Black hitting the ball well. 1 for 1. He came in as a defensive replacement for Dre Dirksen after he got hit by a pitch. He's on the bench today as well. So Mark Black getting the duties behind the dish yet again. Takes strike 1. Has a hit in 10 of his last 11 games. 5 straight, including 4 1-for-4s. That is called strike 2 right down the middle. 0-2 here to Mark Black. Otters have yet to get a base hit so far today. Mark Black, 17% strikeout percentage. That is just outside, and it's 1-2. Hitting .244 overall this season, but he had a .304 July. Included a homer and 6 RBIs. That is called strike 3, and Mark Black goes down looking. 3rd straight strikeout for Rodriguez. 1 to end the first, now 2 here to start the 3rd, and 2 down quickly here for TJ Salvaggio. Fouled away. The Otters usually play pretty well against lefty starters. Against left-handed starters, they're 16-8. So far, no one's really been able to do anything against Rodriguez first time through the order. Salvaggio will call his hitter's timeout here, 0-1. Last 10 games for Salvaggio's in .250, 7 for 28. That includes 4 RBIs, 6 walks. He's driven in now 15 runs against the Thunderbolts this season. He's got 51 of them, overall, 15 against Windy City. 1-1 from Rodriguez. In the dirt for ball 2. Rodriguez looking to go 9 up, 9 down first time through the order. Looks like Florence and Gateway are going to get their second game postponed due to a tornado warning. That is not fun. Oh boy. 2-1. Outside. And that's ball 3. Walk would bring back up the top of the order and John Ponder, who got robbed of a base hit by a nice diving catch in right field by Michael Sandel. Michael Sandel already off to a pretty hot start today. Grounder up the middle into center field for a base hit. TJ Salvaggio has the first hit of the day for Evansville, as he now has a hit in 3 straight games. He's on first with 2 outs for John Ponder. Back up the middle, just out of the reach of Livermore at short. Mentioned Ponder flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Salvaggio, 15 for 15 on the base paths. Picks and chooses very carefully when he wants to try and take a base. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. Not used to playing in such cold conditions. It has been hot as heck all summer. Whether it be in Evansville or Florence or Windy City. Throw to second after the move, and that is not in time as Salvaggio will take second base. The pickoff move, the throw over to first was a little off, and Ruiz, his throw to second, Salvaggio is able to sneak in there and avoid the tag. So almost getting picked off there is Salvaggio, but he ends up taking the extra bag. He's in scoring position now with 2 outs. Stolen base makes him 16 for 16 this year. Now the 0-1 to Ponder. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Ponder, part of the 2-out hitting brigade. He has 21 2-out RBIs. 150 of the 407 RBIs from the Otters have been with 2 outs. 36.8%. 0-2 from Rodriguez. Grounder back up the middle. Ranging is Urdaneta. Throw on a hop is in time. And that is out number 3. And the Otters dugout does not like that call. That will do it. We'll see if Andy McCauley has some words here. But for now, we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still 2-0 Thunderbolts, as we'll take a look at the replay right here. It was a good play from Urdaneta. I think Ponder beat it out, as that is out number 3. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 3rd on the Otters Digital Network. Third innings brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. First pitch is called a strike to Michael Sandel, who hit a RBI double in the first inning, came around to score himself. 0-1 from Simpson is grounded foul. It's 0-2. Sandel now 5 for 7 with 2 doubles against Simpson this season. So he's hitting the ball well off of him. Overall, all of his hitting stats, though, above the league average this season. Inside, and it's 1-2. Highest, though, 840 OPS is a full 100 over the league average of 740. 1-2. Grounder over to third. That's a foul ball. Quitzer's throw, I think, was aiming for first, but it went right to Simpson. So Sandel Hefton having to head back to the dish. Take another 1-2 here. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Windy City. On the other side, 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Evansville. One, 2. Low and away. Sandel 11.3% on the walks. 3% over the league average, and then 7% under the league average in strikeouts. Grounder down the third base line, and that one's foul. 100 off the bat, but just left of the white line, as it's going to remain at 2-2. Over to the Windy City bullpen. Those guys just chilling over there. Same with the Otters. We saw 4 pitchers. One of them technically a position player, but he does pitch a lot yesterday for Windy City, as that one just misses outside, and it's 3-2. Bidinger, Wilsensky, Manning, and Serratos all pitch yesterday. On the other side, 4 pitches, Zentko, Thebe, Cribble, and Valdez for Evansville. Payoff pitch is low for ball 4, and Sandel with a good at-bat, a couple of good takes, and he reaches first to lead off the bottom of the 3rd on a walk. First walk issued by Simpson today. Daryl Ruiz up for the second time. His RBI single brought in Sandel from second base. Sandel 15 for 19 on stolen bases. Looking like he's ready to go first pitch here, but he doesn't. As the first pitch thrown to the plate is called strike one. Ruiz had a 268 average, but has been a little cold his last 10 games, hitting at a 507 OPS. Blooper right to Salvaggio, who will make the catch for out number one. Looking like that might have gone over the head of Salvaggio, but he's able to reach up and grab that one for out number one. Sandel heads back to first base. Victor Cherney up for the second time today. Otters offense has yet to get anything going here against Rodriguez in his third professional start. Runner goes on the first pitch this time. Throw to second is going to get into center field. Sandel was off the bag for a little bit. We'll go back on. Let's take a look at what happened here. He might have overslid a little bit. If Marcos Gonzalez catches that ball, Sandel would have been out for oversliding the bag, but fortunately for him, it goes into center field, and now he's into second base with his 16th stolen base of the year. 0-1. Now with a runner in scoring position and one out. Opposite field, fly ball into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Michael Sandel's getting the round from third as he will come in to score. RBI single for Victor Cherney. He's 2 for 2, and it's 3-0 Windy City. Well, for Cherney, 2 for 2. That's his 51st RBI of the season. That was 19th multi-hit game after starting the day off 2 for 2. That'll bring up Carlos Pena. First pitch grounder over to the Otters dugout, and it's 0-1. Pena also hitting pretty well to all fields. Against starters, he's hitting .333. Got hit by a pitch, though, in his first at-bat. Loaded the bases, but didn't advance from first. Fly ball into deep right field. Going back is Linscott, and that one is gone. Off the flagpole in right field, a 2-run homer for Carlos Pena, his 12th of the year. And it is now 5-0 Windy City in the third inning. Pena coming into this game hitting 188 off of Otters pitching, 3 doubles, 3 for 16, and he has now hit a 2-run homer, extending his team lead in homers, now 12 on the year. And now Garrett Simpson's given up 5 earned runs so far today. First pitch to Livermore is a fly ball into center field. Ponder will make the catch, and that's out number 2. Oh, the Otters have come back from down 5 before. They have 4 wins when coming back from down 4 runs or more. Last one was June 17th against Lake Erie. They were down 5 in the first inning. They ended up winning 18-9, if you remember that game. First pitch called a strike, and it's 0-1. So still doable here for the Otters, but it just keeps on getting a little less likely. The Otters going to have to pick up some good offense against Rodriguez, as they haven't really done too much against him. Just the single from Salvaggio in the third inning. 1-1. Grounder down the third base line. That's going to get into left field for a base hit. Urdanetta's going to try for 2. No, he won't. A very quick throw back to first as Urdaneta took a wide turn there. He'll be held to a long single. Now back to the top of the order. MacArthur batting for the third time in 3 innings. 5 runs have come across here on 8 hits. First pitch just high for ball 1. MacArthur 0 for 2. He has a grounder to second, a fly out to left field. 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. There's another grounder over to second base. Gonzalez will toss to first in time for out number 3. 3 more runs come in for Windy City. RBI single for Cherney, then the 2-run homer for Carlos Pena has put the Thunderbolts up 5-0, heading to the 4th on the Otters Digital Network.
Visit one of their 7 locations, including Evergreen Park, Oakland, and right here in Crestwood. Book your appointment online now at FamilyDentalCare.com. Let's give Juliana a big round of applause. She did a great job brushing those bases. Fans, all replays for the 4th inning are brought to you by Complete Collision Care. For all your auto body needs, Complete Collision Care is located on the Lothian Turnpike, just across the parking lot from Ozinga Field. Family owned and operated since 1994, Complete Collision Care has lived up to their reputation of providing quality, satisfaction, and perfection to each and every auto body repair. Complete Collision Care, proud sponsors and neighbors of your Windy City Thunderbolts. Leading off for the Otters, the right fielder number 5, St. Linscott.
Top of the 4th inning, everything's been going Windy City's way so far as they lead at 5-0. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the third. The Otters have only managed 1 hit 1 time through the order against Rodriguez, as the first pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. Linscott flew out to right field in his first at-bat. It's Linscott, it's Logan Brown, it's Marcos Gonzalez leading off here in the 4th inning as the Otters have a good amount of work to do. A little low, and it's 2-0. Linscott hitting at a .328 after his 3-for-5 day yesterday. It's been a very interesting last 5 games for Linscott as he went 3-for-5 on Tuesday, then had an 0-for-5 and 0-for-4, and then had another 3-hit game yesterday. That ball gets stuck on the netting. Oh, I guess that can happen. It's not supposed to happen, but it can. That is called a strike, and it's 2-2. Rodriguez, only 22 years old. First professional season. Check swing over to first, did not go around, and it's a full count 3-2. He had a 3.68 ERA in 63 2/3 innings with Point Park, which is in Pittsburgh. 3-2 grounder back to him as he'll flip over to first in time for out number 1. No one out here in the top of the 4th inning, and that will bring up Logan Brown. With Point Park this season, he was a second-team All-MEC Conference selection. Complete game shutout, probably his best start of the season against Barry on March 6th, as the first pitch to Logan Brown is called a strike. Logan Brown having a chat with Mateus Puchalo, the home plate umpire. taking his timeout, and we're back at it here, 0-1. He's talking to Andy McCauley over at third base. 0-1 pitch is fouled away, and it's 0-2. Point Park this season finished 30-22. Won their first game in the MEC tournament against Concord. Lost their next two, though, against Frostburg State and Glenville State to be eliminated, and it ended their season. 0-2 from Rodriguez. Swing and a miss at the high fastball, and that is strikeout number 4 for Rodriguez. First two down here in the top of the fourth inning. Rodriguez looking for 4 scoreless here, only the 1 hit given up. First pitch to Gonzalez will miss a little low for ball 1. Rodriguez last season with Point Park had a 4.27 ERA, 52 2/3. His best season was in 2023. He was a starter. He had an ERA at 3.6 in almost 100 innings pitched as a starter. Walked 26, struck out 102. That was back when Point Park was in the RSC conference. Made the second team there. Still in Division II, though, as that one is called swing and a miss, strike 1. 2-1 a little inside, and it's ball 3. In 2024, he had 1 complete game. That was on May 5th, 2024 against Indiana Kokomo. That is outside. Good take from Marcos, and that's ball 4. First walk issued by Rodriguez, the second base runner of the day for Evansville. And that will bring up Blake Robertson. Rodriguez, originally from Puerto Rico, but moving to the States to play in college for Point Park. First pitch to Robertson's inside for ball 1. For Rodriguez, his first 2 starts, he went 5 1/3, and with how he's pitching right now, he's only at 52, and he might go longer than that here in Game 2 of the series, especially with the doubleheader tomorrow. Going to have to save some arms in the bullpen. As that one's called a strike, and it's 1-1. Lefty's hitting 211 against him. Righty's 346. With runners on, all hitters hitting 294. Throwback is not in time. Gonzalez has been stealing bases pretty regularly as of recent. Now 6 for 6. One one. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Rodriguez still going for that 4 scoreless. Gave a 5 earned on the 20th against Schaumburg, 3 earned against Florence on the 26th. Little low, and it's 2-2. Well, either way, this start's going to lower the average for Rodriguez, depending on how far he goes in this one. Throw back to first is not in time. We're having a situation like we are in Joliet. The Woody City's mascot is staring at me right now. I can see him. I can see him in my peripherals. I don't know why they keep on doing this. Grounder over to second base. Urdaneta will flip to short, and that is out number 3. Robertson grounds into the fielder's choice, and Rodriguez does get 4 scoreless as we will head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Windy City still up 5-0 on the Otters Digital Network.
60th birthday, Christine. Steve Lispinski family. Happy birthday, Emmett Riley. St. Xavier University. Griselle School. Happy birthday to Josephine and William. Blue Knights, Chapter 19. Garden Homes Fire Department. Once again, fans, we'd like to thank all of our groups for attending tonight's game. Leading off for the ThunderBolts, the third baseman.
Fourth innings brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, sheet metal workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Be sure to visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Well, instead of ignoring the mascot like I did in Joliet, I decided to say hi to Windy City's mascot. Seems like a cool dude. Not gonna lie, he's a good fella. He's a good fella, and if you ever end up showing up to a Windy City Thunderbolts game, be sure to say hi to him. He seems like a cool dude. 2-0. Andy McCauley could hear what he's saying. He said, I could see that's a strike from here. Grounder over to short. Salvaggio, long throw on a hop over to first in time for out number 1. Not too sure what it is about today that up here we're able to hear the dugouts a lot clearer than yesterday. But either way, out number 1 on the BB grounder to short. That'll bring up Justin Fogel. First pitch. Grounder over to first. Logan Brown will take it to the bag himself, and that is out number 2. Quick 2 outs for Simpson in the bottom of the 4th inning. Michael Sandel has been having a good day today. He had that web gem on the first out of the day. RBI double, came around to score in the first inning, and then walked and scored in the 3rd. First pitch called a strike. The 0-1. High fly ball on the infield. Backing up is Gonzalez. He will call off Ponder and make the catch for out number 3. A very quick 1-2-3 4th for Simpson. And we will head to the 5th inning. Windy City still up 5-0 on the Otters Digital Network.
Presented by St. Xavier University. Bill's on the first base dugout top. Take it away, Bill. All right, folks. Toy Story tonight. We have Cammy and Eli. We're going to play a very simple game. It's name that Toy Story character. We're going to show you characters on the video board. If you know it, be the first to hit the buzzer. No buzzer hovering. Arms at your side at all times, all right? We have somebody trained up there who's watching you. All right, here we go. First one. First character. There. Cammy. That is Rex. You are correct, and you roll a new buzzer. Okay, second one. Here we go.
Mr. P.
Incorrect, Mr. Pete. All right. Yes.
Stinky
correct, Cam. You got it together there. Okay, 2-0. Good luck, Eli. Here we go. 6-1. You got to be quicker on the buzzer, Eli. All right, Cammy, you're 3-0. Fourth one. Yes, you've got one. And the fifth and final one. All right, multiple choice, Eli. Battlefield Ben, Combat Carl, or General Pat? Correct. Combat Carl is correct. You got it. Cammy, you won this round. Congratulations. You know your Toy Story. We've got prizes for you. Courtesy of our good friends at Sammy Catering. Give it up for a quote. Toy Story Night Rapid Blast. Back to you. Leading off for the Otters will be designated hitter number 10.
Top five, 5-0. Windy City leads it as of his pro career, and he has to go into the 6th inning in order to do so, and he's looking like he's going to do that. So that one's called a strike, and it's 1-2. Not even at 60 pitches yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, Simpson's gone through 4 innings. He's got 68 pitches, but he's given up those 5 runs. One, two. Swing and a miss. And that is out number 1. Strikeout number 5 for Rodriguez. And Pierce has now gone down swinging twice today. That will bring up Chris Quitzer. Quitzer also has a strikeout. It was the 3 straight strikeouts for Rodriguez to Pierce, Quitzer, and Mark Black. Lefty here as the first pitch is grounded foul over to the Otters dugout. Quitzer 0 for 1. A lefty here against Rodriguez. There's a grounder that's fair over to first base. Ruiz will tag the bag himself, and that's out number 2. No 2 down quickly here. That'll bring up Mark Black. Rodriguez, so far, this is already looking like the best game of his pro career. It's a short sample size, but he hasn't given up a run yet. He's only allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Looking like the Point Park version of himself. So that one's low for ball 2. Mark Black struck out looking, was the 3rd of 5 strikeout victims for the Otters against Rodriguez. Still only 1 hit. Meanwhile, 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Windy City. 2 in the first, 3 in the third. 2-0. Outside, and it's ball 3. Nothing in the zone yet. There is a strike, and it's 3-1. Mark Black taking all the way there. Looking for another base hit. Hit one to the right center field gap for his hit yesterday. Also walked in substitution of Dre Dirksen. Grounder over to third. Jared Beebe throw on a hop over to first in time for out number 3, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Rodriguez. Still only 2 base runners for Evansville as we're halfway home here in Game 2. 5-0 Thunderbolts on the Otters Digital Network.
Receive a coupon for your free Portillo sandwich with the purchase of a combo meal. Our Windy City Thunderbolts staff will bring those coupons shortly.
Fifth innings brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. Wings do sound pretty good right now. The amount of wind, I feel like I could fly. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 to Ruiz. The 0-1 is just high. Ruiz has a single, an RBI single that brought in Sandel, and a pop out to Salvaggio at short. He's 1 for 2 today. 1-1 grounder down the first base line. That's a fair ball. It's going to get all the way into the right field corner. Heading into second base is Ruiz, and he has a leadoff double in the bottom of the fifth inning. Oh, for Ruiz, that is double number 10 on the year. First extra base hit in his last 5 games. Victor Cherny, a chance to bring in another run. He has an RBI single as well. 2 for 2 today. Singled and scored after bringing in a run in the third inning. First pitch grounder over to second base. Gonzalez will throw to first in time for out number 1 as Ruiz will head to third base. Carlos Pena has a 2-run homer already today. Has reached twice. His homer, his 12th of the year. RBIs number 39 and 40 as he brought Cherny around. Chance to bring in a third run here with a runner on third and 1 out in the bottom of the fifth inning. Windy City already up 5-0. First pitch swing and a miss. Pena 23 years old. His birthday was in July. He's from the NYC area. He's originally from Queens. This is his second season with Windy City. Grounder over to first, snagged by Logan Brown. He'll tag the bag for out number 2, but the run will come in from third as Ruiz scores to make it 6-0 Windy City. RBI ground out for Pena, and he's driven in 3 runs today. So base is empty now with 2 outs and a run in here for Windy City, and that'll bring up Tony Livermore. First pitch a little outside. Livermore was with Schaumburg to start 2026. Ended up getting released on July 1st. Signed with Windy City on July 10th. In July, he's hitting .348. Not too bad. 6 for 23. Couple of doubles, couple of ribbies, and 5 walks compared to only 1 strikeout. Today's 0 for 2, though. He has a strikeout looking and a fly out to center. 1-1 is called a strike. And it's 1-2. Overall, Livermore hitting at a .231. This is game number 38 for him. Does get on base via the walk a lot. High fastball is ball 2. Simpson's given up a decent amount of runs, 6 of them, but is still on 76 pitches, which is why he's getting kept out there. Save the bullpen for Evansville, as that one's low, and it's ball 3. Payoff coming here with 2 outs. Simpson working rather quickly. As with 6 seconds left on the pitch clock, he kicks and fires the 3-2. And that one's hit into right field for a base hit. Hit number 10 on the day for Windy City. First one for Livermore today. Now already, everybody in the lineup has a base hit except for the leadoff man, Liam MacArthur. Urdaneta hit a long single the other way into left field. In his last at-bat, his first AB, he struck out looking. Fouled over to Andy McCauley, who's top step of the dugout. Livermore 2 for 4 on stolen bases, has a decent lead off of first. 0-1 a little low, and it's 1-1. Talked about how Urdaneta, Pena, and Colby Morse all went to Indiana State. Pena is the sort of link between those two. Urdaneta wasn't teammates with Morse, but Pena was on strikes for the second time today. Third K for Simpson, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. We'll head to the 6th inning. 6-0, Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
We have a Doan here. He's with the Garden Homes Group, and he's going to try and catch some White Castle sliders, which we're going to launch off the roof. That's the rooftop gang up there. Doan, you're gonna shoot with the water balloon launcher. It's giving you a net, big net. You're gonna catch them. If you catch all three, you're going home with a $25 gift card to White Castle. All right, first one, guys. Thumbs up. Ready to go. And here we go. First one. Here it comes.
Out by Carlos Pena in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch is high to Salvaggio for ball 1. Salvaggio, the only guy in the lineup with a hit, singled in his first at bat. The 3rd inning, stole second, but didn't advance from there. Grounder over to second base. Urdaneta on a hop, throws over to first, and it's dug out by Ruiz at first for out number 1. So Rodriguez has now gone 5 1/3 for the 3rd time in 3 professional starts. So this will be a new career high if he gets Ponder out here. 0 for 2 so far for Ponder. A fly out to right field, a grounder to second base. One 0 is called a strike. Now Ponder in a small little slump. He's 1 for his last 14. Two and 1. Still a Frontier League All-Star selection and has reached base in his last 17 games. Grounder over to short. Tony Livermore throws the first in time for out number 2. So that's the new career high, 5 2/3 innings in this start for Ramon Rodriguez, and 5 2/3 scoreless so far. So that'll bring up Sam Linscott with 2 outs. Now, the least amount of hits the Otters have had in a game is 3. That was in one of the games against Sussex in that doubleheader. That one's launched foul. As the curveball, Linscott gets way out in front of it. So far, the Otters only have 1 hit. Little low, and it's 1-1. Tomorrow, 2 7-inning games. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. It'll be Williman and Wiltsey. Wiltsey's getting game 1. Williman's getting game 2 against A.J. Campbell, who's getting game 1. And game 2 is going to Tyler Worley. Little high, and it's 2-2. Tyler Worley, fresh off the IL. Had a couple starts, but missed an entire month because of injury, which included the last series between Windy City and Evansville. Grounder down the line. Jared Beebe, long throw over to first, is in time for out number 3. 7 straight retired for Ramon Rodriguez as he goes through 6 scoreless, only allowing 1 hit. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th inning, still 6-0 Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
License DS26006. Again, if you're the owner of a black Hyundai Tucson, license DS26006. And congratulations, you're the winner of the Delta Sonic Dirtiest Car in the Lot. Once again, if you're the owner of a black Hyundai Tucson, license DS26006. You're the winner of the Delta Sonic Dirtiest Car in the Lot and can claim your prize at the box office. All right, fans, pucker up. It's time for the Delta Sonic Kiss Cam. Fans on replays for the 6th inning are presented by Illinois Operation Lifesaver. Learn more about railway safety. Visit them on the web at sex.oli.org.
6th innings brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve. Since 1914, Garrett Simpson back out there for the 6th inning. He's gone a full 6 3 times now up until this point. So if he gets through this inning, it'll be a 4th time. The season high in innings pitched is 6 1/3, which he did on the 21st against Mississippi. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Windy City didn't have a first base coach for that first pitch to MacArthur. It's the top 3 leading off at MacArthur, Beebe, and Fogel. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. MacArthur, the only guy in the lineup without a hit. He's over 3 today. 2 grounders a second and a fly out to left. Simpson's been able to keep him quiet, but not necessarily for the others in the lineup for Windy City. 10 hits, 6 runs. In the dirt, and it's 1-2. This is the most earned runs that Simpson's given up since his first start of the year, back on May 13th against Washington, in which he gave up 7 earned, 5 homers. He's only given up 1 this time. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Simpson, as 0 for 4 now for MacArthur. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's the first homer, by the way, that Simpson has given up since he gave up 2 back on June 26th against Florence. First pitch to Beebe is called a strike. If the score holds, it'll be only the 4th loss that the Otters have had when Simpson has started. Grounder over to 3rd, snagged by Quitzer. Throw across the diamond on a hop to 1st is in time for out number 2. 5 2/3. Well, the other 2 times that Simpson went 6 innings was in his last start. He went 6 on Sunday against Mississippi, and then he went 6 on June 12th against Schaumburg. That was 6 scoreless. His only start without an earned run given up. Justin Fogel, he's 1 for 3 today. First pitch is called a strike, lower half of the zone, and it's 0-1. There's nobody warming in the bullpen for Evansville, so this is Simpson's inning to finish. The 0-1. Fly ball into right center field. Ponder will make the catch, and that's out number 3. A 1-2-3-6 for Simpson. as he's gone through 6. But 6 runs have come across for Windy City as we'll head to the 7th, 6-0 Thunderbolts on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. It is time for the Otters Thrilling ThunderBolts Derby. In right center field, we have a red horse, a yellow horse, and a zebra horse. They're going to race all the way around the batter's eye in center field, and then they're going to come out of the batter's eye and finish to the right of the lyric sign, which is elevated in left center field. That is our finish line. I have 3 horse racing experts here who think they can correctly predict the outcome of today's race. Please state your name and the horse you think will win. Okay, our experts have spoken, folks. No more bets in the stands. And the horses are at the gate. We're waiting on the bell. And they're off. Another thrilling Thunderbolts Derby underway. Red is in the lead, but here comes yellow. And zebra is now in second. Red is in first as we head into the batter's eye. As always, tension mounts. Waiting for the horses to come out of the batter's eye. Here they come. Spinning out of the batter's eye curve. It's zebra. But here comes yellow. But it's zebra. And it's yellow at the wire. Yellow. Who had yellow? Kinsley. Here you go. If I was really good at my job, this would have been a yellow lightsaber. But you have a red lightsaber. And you guys, we have some party gifts for you too. You're all going home with a little something. Maybe an opportunity to come back to another Thunderbolts game. Give it up for our experts, folks. Another one in the books. Back to you, Maddie.
Top of the 7th inning, Ramon Rodriguez trying to go 7 scoreless as he'll face off against Logan Brown, Marcos Gonzalez, and Blake Robertson. 2 lefties out of the first 3 here in the top of the 7th inning. The Otters have only managed 1 hit, a single from TJ Salvaggio in the 3rd inning. Otters have not been getting anything going offensively against Rodriguez. First pitch called a ball. Logan Brown 0 for 2. He has a fly out to center and a strikeout swinging. 1-0 looping curveball called a strike, and it's 1-1. That might be Simpson's day over. David Eckes is in the bullpen warming up. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Decent amount of lefties in the lineup for Windy City, so understand the lefty reliever coming out of the pen here. First off, 1-2 to Logan Brown. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that is strikeout number 6 for Rodriguez as he continues to up that career high, 6 1/3. No one out. Marcos Gonzalez up for the 3rd time. He did end up increasing his on-base streak to 19 games with a walk in his last at-bat, but he ended up getting caught in out number 3 after the fielder's choice grounded into by Robertson, who's on deck. Otherwise, a ground out to third. He's 0 for 1. 1-0 is called a strike right down the middle, and it's 1-1. On one, ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. That's going to get all the way into the left field corner. Gonzalez heading into second base, and he is in there with a double, his 15th double of the year in his 3rd in his last 4 games. Second hit of the day for Evansville. And Gonzalez continues his hot hitting. He now has a hit in his last 4 games and 5 of his last 6. No chance for the Otters to avoid getting shut out here in Game 2 of the series. Blake Robertson with a runner on second and 1 out. Robertson did drive in 2 runs yesterday against Windy City. First pitch a little low for ball 1. Fly out to right field and a fielder's choice grounded into for B-Rob today. Sitting at an 0 for 2. 1-0 is called a strike outside edge. Definitely the performance of the season so far for Rodriguez. Blooper into left field, and making the catch out there is Fogel for out number 2. An opposite field fly ball. Hanging up a little too high as Fogel is able to get there with some time. That'll bring up Dennis Pierce, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts swinging. 6 strikeouts, also a season high for Rodriguez. First pitch to Pierce. Pierce is definitely also a part of the 2-out hitting brigade. 21 2-out RBIs this season. Tied with Ponder for second most behind LG Castillo, who has 23. 0-1 a little low and inside. Evens the count up. Well, Ramon Rodriguez has a brother, Sebastian Rodriguez, who played with Washington last year. Just misses inside, and it's 2-1. So whenever Windy City plays Washington next, that might be a little bittersweet for him. Never mind, they don't play Washington the rest of the year. Called a strike, and it's 2-2. They play New York after this. At New York, it's going to be a long road trip for Windy City. They go to New York, and then they go to Tri-City. They're back home against Ottawa and Schaumburg. Then they're at Schaumburg. Then against Gateway at home, at Mississippi, against Lake Erie at home, and then at Florence to end the season. 3-2. On the other side for the Otters, they're heading to Washington after their home series next week against Joliet. Then a 6-game homestand against Gateway and Lake Erie, heading to Washington again. Then at home against Florence, at Schaumburg. Then home against Lake Erie, and then the Down East series to end the year. Grounder up the middle. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. Marcos Gonzalez rounding third, and he will come in to score. Dennis Pierce, an RBI single, and it's 6-1. Otters are on the board here in the 7th inning as they avoid getting shut out here against Ramon Rodriguez. And immediately mound visit here for Rodriguez. 1 run in here on 3 hits now for Evansville. RBI single from Pierce. RBI number 48 for him. Also his first hit of the day. 2 of the 3 hits have come in this inning. Just a normal mound visit, though. Tino Novus just giving him some words of encouragement. Out-of-town scoreboard. Quick look at it. 12-6. 2 6-run innings for Schaumburg. They're up on Mississippi. 3-1 Joliet's up on New York. 17-3 in the 5th inning between Quebec and Troyes. Oh, my. That we're going to have to keep an eye on that game. First pitch is called a strike to Quitzer. 10-6 Down East is up against Tri-City. 3-2 Sussex still beating Lake Erie. Washington 1. Florence 1. If this score holds, it's a pretty big loss for Evansville in the standings. Throw to first is not in time. Dennis Pierce only 1 for 3 on stolen bases, so doesn't go too much. We were talking about the Boulders about to win 3-1 against Joliet, even though they only had 1 hit. But Joliet did end up coming back to win that game last night. That was after this game ended, the 6-1 game yesterday. By the way, 6-1 again today, which is crazy. Blooper right to Urdaneta, who will make the catch for out number 3. Well, the Otters get on the board here in the 7th inning. Bring a run in on the RBI single for Dennis Pierce. Time to stretch. 6-1 Windy City on the Otters Digital Network.
Sports rehabilitation, decompression therapy, and more. Reach out to Chiromed Health and Wellness Centers for all your chiropractic needs today. Also, fans, all replays in the 7th inning are brought to you by Joey's Red Hots. Now with 7 locations, including 174th and Wolf Road in Orland Park and 115th in Western. Looking to cater your next event? Then call Joey's Red Hots 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Bottom of the 7th, we have a new pitcher into the game for Evansville. It's David Eckes. 7th innings brought to you by Jacob's Pub. Jacob's Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays at North Main, 607 North Main Street in Evansville, Indiana. David Eckes is at a 5.34 ERA in 28 and 2/3 innings. 28 hits, 17 earned runs, 12 walks compared to 33 strikeouts. He had a little bit of a rough outing back on Wednesday against New York. Faced 3 hitters, walked 1 and hit 2, and then got taken out. So he's looking for a bit of a bounce back here in his first outing in this series. A little outside, and it's 1-1 to Sandal. It's Sandal, Ruiz, and Cerny leading off. Eckes has faced Windy City now 4 times this season. Or sorry, now 5 times, 4 before. Grounder to short. TJ Salvaggio throwing a hop to first is in time. It was very close, as Sandal almost beat it out, but it is going to be out number 1 on the 6-3 putout. It seems as though, possibly with the lights, those throws in that are one hopping in the turf are crucial for first baseman to be able to see it. The first baseman, Brown, and Ruiz, who's now up, to see throws coming to them. Might be a little easier. First pitch grounder over to second base. Marcos Gonzalez will throw to first in time for out number 2. And David Eckes quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
The catcher, number 30, Victor Turney.
For a game that has seen 7 runs and 13 hits, it is really going quick. And I don't even care about a jinx. I don't care. I don't believe in jinxes. This is a quick game. If anything, if this game gets longer, then that means the Otters possibly came back from down 6. You never know. You never know. Still have 6 outs to work with. That's just 1 run per out. Victor Cherney up for the first time. Simpson finishes with 6 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, as that one's fouled away. Oh, 1 from Eckes. Grounder, pretty much the same spot. foul, and it's 0-2. Now, Cherney is 2 for 3 today. A couple of singles, one driving in a run. He also scored. Last at bat, though, he grounded out to second base. 0-2. Fastball just misses high. Journey in July hit 250. 3 homers, 14 RBIs. That is called strike 3, and Eckes paints the corner on the breaking ball. His first K of the day is out number 3 in the bottom of the 7th as he throws a 1-2-3. We'll head to the 8th, 6-1 Windy City on the Otters digital network.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. We have a special edition of Closest to the Pin, representing St. Xavier University, an alumni, is Mary Ann. She's going to go up against Tyler Vinegar, one of our pitchers. Closest to the pin, 2 shots each. Whoever's closest to the pin will wear our prestigious green jacket, courtesy of Fountain Hills. Got a little bit of rain out here. Tyler, you got about 60-something yards, and water hazard to your left. First shot, Tyler Vinegar. Green jacket winner twice this year. Oh, that 4. He has won 2 green jackets, folks. Don't take him lightly. Second shot here in the rain. Oh, and he yanked that one. Four to the fireworks people. That went up the yard. Hey, Marianne, I got news for you. It's wide open for you, kid. Wide open. Look at that. We got a winner, Marianne. Congratulations. You're going to wear our green jacket. How about that? Thank you, Tyler. Look at that. Look at her. She looks great in it. Give it up for Marianne, everybody. The winner of our green jacket, courtesy of Fountain Hills. It's a thriller. Back to you.
Top of the 8th, and out of nowhere, there is a lot of rain coming down. It came out of nowhere. It was perfect when we ended the frame, and it was all of a sudden now it's just coming down, and now it's slowing down a little bit. It was just like this is a weird minute long pop up, and it's back to normal. No, maybe not back to normal. It's still sprinkling a little bit, but still. New pitcher into the game is Carson Plumador as he throws one to the backstop. 4.87 ERA and 44 1/3 innings this season. 5th game against the Otters. Has given up only 1 earned run against Evansville. So that one is called a strike. Last outing, he threw an inning against Gateway, gave up 2 earned runs. He's actually given up 2 earned in his last 2 outings. One against Gateway on the 30th and one against Florence on the 26th. Grounder down the third base line, foul. He's holding a banana right there. Holding a banana and trying to catch a foul ball. Somebody in the Windy City dugout. 1-2. Little outside. Mark Black is 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Grounded out to 3rd in the 5th inning. It's Black, Salvaggio, and Ponder leading off. Popped up foul. I haven't seen a lot of them, but that overhead foul ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. I think that's the first time I've done that read, and it's the 8th inning. We just haven't had too many of them. 2-2. Grounder over to short. Tony Livermore, throw. Another one on a hop over to first in time for out number 1. So Ramon Rodriguez finishes with 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Is by far the best start he's had this season and as a professional, as he basically silenced the Otters offense through the first 6 innings. First pitch to Salvaggio. Fouled away. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hits Construction. See, now we're getting more of it. Choose the best. Never regret it. Now that I've done the read once, it's going to keep happening. You just watch. 0-1. Outside. Plumador 20 walks compared to 49 strikeouts this season, 42 hits. He's given up 24 earned runs. He's sitting at a 3-1 record. Just outside, and it's 2-1. Salvaggio 1 for 2, singled in the third, had the only hit for a while for the Otters. Slow roller down the third base line, and it just goes foul. Salvaggio getting the bad news. I don't know if you just saw everybody watching on HTN. Ozinga Field, they put the player headshots. They are huge on the screen. I look into right center field, and TJ Salvaggio is just staring at me. It's a little off-putting, I'm not gonna lie. Because for Windy City, they have like a full body shot for them, with them holding the bat or the glove or whatever. Evansville, it is a very, very close headshot. They just zoom it all the way in. 2-2. Grounder over to third. This one's fair. BB throw to first on a hop in time for out number 2. Well, you can kind of see the high home camera is getting some rain on it. Back to the top of the order, John Ponder. Ponder 0 for 3 today. Has a fly out to right field, a grounder to second, and a grounder to short. First pitch fouled away. I'm not doing the read this time. I'm kidding. Foul balls brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Plumador, 24 years old. He's from Flowery Branch, Georgia. It's all sunshine and rainbows over there, huh? 0-2. Flowery Branch, northeast of Atlanta. It's where the Atlanta Falcons are headquartered. Also the hometown of Phil Necro. 0-2 just outside. Second season with Windy City. Signed last year after his last year at Georgia Southwestern State. A little outside again. It's 2-2. Ponder at risk of losing that on-base streak. That is called strike 3, and that will do it for the top of the 8th inning. First strikeout for Plumador. As we will head to the bottom half, 6-1, ThunderBolts on the Otters Digital Network. Eighth inning brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember, who can help with all your pest control needs? McMahon can. Well, we're in the right place here in Crestwood, nearest to the Chicago White Sox. Guaranteed Rate Field, just a few miles north of here. And I say that because the trade deadline is coming up, and the White Sox just made a pretty big trade. They just traded for the Mariners' Luis Castillo. That just dropped during the top of the eighth inning. So this is where you get all your big news for all you White Sox fans out there. That's probably not too many of you because this is I think Evansville is mainly Cardinals fans, so I guess that doesn't really matter. But we are near the White Sox, so might as well. I thought I should break some news to the people who haven't seen it quite yet. Baseball game going on. 2-0 here to Pena. The new pitcher into the game is Nate Woolgamuth. 2-0 is a high fly ball into foul ground. Quitzer gives it a look, and it will fall out of play. Woolgamuth had a pretty rough series against New York. He had 2 straight blown saves, up his ERA to 5.40 after not allowing a run to score in his first 6 games. Two-one. That is lined right at Gonzalez. 105 off the bat, and Gonzalez, that might have startled him right there. It is caught for out number 1. That's an L4. That is out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Otters are down to their final 3 outs once we get to the top of the 9th inning. Tony Livermore. First pitch outside for ball 1. Livermore is 1 for 3. If Woolgamuth gets a 1-2-3 8th inning here, Liam MacArthur will not have a chance to try and get that hitting streak. Fly ball into right field, and making the catch there is Lynn Scott. He's really fighting the wind out there in right field. That one just kind of died in the air. That's out number 2. MacArthur, coming into this game, has reached base in 27 straight games, and if Josue Urdaneta gets out here, it's possible, barring a major comeback, of course, that streak will be over. Called a strike, and it's 0-1. Already saw Fogel's on base streak end yesterday. Now we got to get BB's streak ended. BB extended his streak, though, to 29 with his single back in the 2nd inning. But he's 1 for 4. Oh, 2 to Urdaneta, who is 1 for 3. Outside. He has 2 of the 5 strikeouts for Otters pitching today. Rip foul off the netting near the Windy City dugout. It'll remain at 1-2. MacArthur, the top of the order on deck. 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors for Windy City. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Evansville. That is called strike 3. And Woolgamuth, a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning. And his first strikeout. Urdaneta's 3rd will end the 8th. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Otters need 5 to tie and 6 to take the lead. It's going to be a tough match, but we've seen it. We've seen crazier things happen as we'll hit the 9th on the Otters Digital Network.
ThunderBolts.com. Fans, since 1834, Old National Bank has had an unwavering commitment to being a trusted financial and community partner. Old National is the 6th largest commercial bank in the Midwest and a top 25 U.S. bank, with the heart, culture, and DNA of a smaller community bank. Old National Bank, proud sponsors of your Windy City Thunderbolts. Hey kids, make sure to stick around after tonight's game for Kids Run the Bases. Children aged 12 and under will be able to run the same bases as the pros across home plate. Participants can line up in the game behind home plate.
Top of the 9th inning here in Crestwood. New pitcher into the game for Windy City is Carter Delaney. It's a bit of an interesting choice from Windy City to put Delaney in here. It's a 6-1 game, and Delaney has been possibly the best pitcher on Windy City's staff so far, at least in the bullpen. As he'll face off against Lynn Scott, Logan Brown, and Marcos Gonzalez. The reason that saying that it's a little weird that he's into the game here is that you possibly save him for tomorrow. There's 2 games, and Delaney has an ERA under 3, 2.84 in 25 and a third innings. Possible you would need one of those high leverage arms, but it also might not even matter in the grand scheme of things. He might just pitch 2 days in a row. He did that in his last 2 outings, the 25th and 26th against Florence. That one's fouled away, and it's 0-2 against Lynn Scott. 4th game for Delaney against the Otters this season. Pitched a scoreless frame and got the win against the Otters back on the 17th of July. One of his 8 wins. He is 8-0 this season, which is crazy. 1-2 as that one was high and in. 14 walks, 21 strikeouts, but he does not give up any base hits, only 15. Check swing over to first, and he did go around. That's strike 3. And Lynn Scott goes down swinging for out number 1 in the top of the 9th inning. Strikeout number 8 for Windy City pitching today. What are the odds of 3 straight games for Evansville ending 6-1? That will miss inside for ball 1 to Logan Brown. 6-1 against New York, 6-1 yesterday, and 6-1 today. Unfortunately, not on the side of the Otters. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. Logan Brown 0 for 3 today. Fly out to center, 2 strikeouts. 2 outs away from evening up the series is the Thunderbolts. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Delaney kicks and deals. The 1-2 is fouled away. Did give up one of his 8 earned runs against the Otters. That was back on May 23rd, game 2 of that doubleheader. He threw 2/3 of an inning, gave up an earned run. Swing and a miss, and Logan Brown strikes out for the 3rd time today. Now 9 strikeouts for Windy City pitching, and the first 2 outs here in the top of the 9th have gone via the K. Otters down to their last out. Here in game 2 of the series, Marcos Gonzalez, he is 1 for 2 as one of the 3 hits for Evansville. First pitch is called a strike, and it's 0-1. Delaney hasn't given up an earned run since July 4th. That is going to hit the zone for strike 2. Now the Otters down to their final strike here on Saturday night. The Otters usually play pretty well on Saturdays, as that one will miss low for ball 1. 9-1 on Saturdays, but that one loss is on the road, and it's looking more and more likely that it's going to be 9-2. Ripped right at first and caught by Ruiz, and that'll do it. Windy City pulls off the 6-1 victory against Evansville, and they tie the series up at 1 game apiece heading into the doubleheader tomorrow. Windy City up to 34-36. The Otters down to 41-28. As that loss, along with the Florence and Washington wins, now put Evansville 7 games back and only 1 game back of Florence in the division race, or in the wild card race. A third game the Otters have played in ends by a final score of 6-1, which, weird, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but still just a very odd stat. They lose their second game on a Saturday, and hopefully they can come into the doubleheader tomorrow and look to sweep that one, possibly gain some ground in the wild card race. But not a great start to August for the guys. Starting off 0-1. Chance to redeem themselves and take the series tomorrow. If they win both games, it'll be Williman and Wiltsey against Campbell and Worley. ThunderBolts end up winning. They finish with 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. The Otters only muster up 3 hits, which is tied for their lowest in a game this season. They only get 1 run. Neither team had an error, though. It was a good game defensively, and it all started with that diving catch from Michael Sandel. So we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Schaumburg's up 15-5 on Mississippi. It is 4-2 between Joliet and New York. 18-3 between Quebec and Trois-Rivières. Down east up 10-7 on Tri-City. Sussex up 7-4, 5-run 6th. Puts them up 3 against Lake Erie. As Ramon Rodriguez gets the water dumped all over him. He had a fantastic night tonight. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. His first win of his professional career as he's going to pick up the victory. Garrett Simpson gets the loss. And overall, a good day for Windy City. On the other side, Otters going to have to regroup tomorrow and get the offense back up and running like they did in Game 1 of the series and in Game 3 against New York. Tomorrow it's 1:05 start time for Game 1 of 2. 7 innings, then we wait 30 minutes, and then we play 7 more innings. Counts for 2 games before we head back home and play Joliet. But for everybody here at Ozinga Field, I'm Evan Potoko. We will see you tomorrow afternoon as the fireworks are coming. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.